Vandeham Shri Guru Varam Shri Rupanavataram Vikrasasitam Chandaram Shri Guru Charanam Vande Ramana Prishthaya Bhutale Rupanavataram Shapapam Radhanastram Yante Ramyache Puram Puna Shri Madhupaparam Bodhali Shamajan Bhajan Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishta Sthapitam Nena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadami Yandadati Saparantinam Vaidakti Yug Bhakti Rasam Prayatnaya Payamam Vitsumundam Kripam Buddhya Paradukha Dukhi Sanatanam Tam Prabhu Ashrayam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shivasari Shri Gaur Jai Rup Sanatana Makrina Shri Jeev Gopal Bhattadasarina Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I offer my Shastanga and pranams and the lotus feet of our spiritual masters. Itla Vishtam Vishnupada Stotra Saka Shivam Bhaktivedanta Shri Narayana Sai Maharaj Shri Gurudev. Itla Vishtam Vishnupada Stotra Saka Shivam Bhaktivedanta Shri Narayana Sai Maharaj Shri Gurudev. To enter the Panagari Guru Varga, all Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis and Bhakti and everyone else present. So today is the first day of Navdeep Dham Parikrama. So where has the Parikrama party gone today? It has gone to Antardeep, Mayapur and Simantadeep as well. So yesterday we heard that the 9 islands of Navdeep represent the 9 limbs of devotion. Mayapur represents Atmaniveda. Simantadeep represents Shravan. Godrum represents Kirtan. Bhaktivedanta represents Smaran. Koladweep represents Padasevana. Ritudweep represents Archanam, and Janudweep represents Vandanam. And Modadruvadweep represents Dasyam, and Rudradweep represents Sakhyam. So this is the sequence of how each of the 9 islands embody each of the 9 limbs of devotion. And also, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he has described in his Navdeep Dham Mahatma that if you want to do parikrama, you follow the same sequence. Beginning from Mayapur, Atmanivedanam, first to offer yourself. Why is Atmanivedanam so crucial for the sadhak? Because without Atmanivedanam, how can you possibly do Shravan Kirtan Smaran? When you haven't even offered yourself in the first place, when there is no Sharanagati. Of course, there are 3 stages. First there is Prapatti, then there is Sharanagati, and then there is Atmaniveda. Prapatti is when you say, Krishna, I am yours. That is the seed of surrender, the beach. And then there is Sharanagati. What is Sharanagati? Manasa Dehagaho Joki Chamor Arpilitu Apade Nanda Kishore. Nanda Kishore, whatever I have is yours. Anuko Yasya Sankalpa, Natko Yasya Dharmya, Atmanikshaya Pakarpanya, Sabdaya Sharanagati, Guptakte Varmantaka. This way we see that the six symptoms of Sharanagati, Sarvida Sharanagati are Atmanikshaya Pakarpa. In this way we see that first there's Anukul Yasya Sankalpam, Ratkul Yasya Vivarjanam. Accept that which is favorable, give up that which is unfavorable. And then you accept Krishna as your guardian. Then, this way you follow the 6 limbs of devotion. So this is Sharanagati. Then comes Atmanivedan. Atmanivedan is actually the beginning of Swarup Siddhi. So then first there is Atmanivedan, then you can possibly engage in Shravan Kirtan. So first go to Mayapur. First surrender yourself. Then go to Simantadeep. We will read about all these things here. There is Shravan. And then from Simantadeep, proceed to Godrum. And from Godrum, proceed to Madhyadweep. So these 4 islands, they are on the eastern bank of the Ganga. Which 4 islands? Antardeep, Simantadeep, Madhyadweep and Godrum Dweep. They are on the eastern side of the Ganga. And the remaining 5 are on the western side of the Ganga. So you have to cross the Ganga to go there. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, before you cross the Ganga, first offer your pranams to Ganga Devi. Bhagavati, Bhagirati, Devi Sureshwari, Bhagavati Kange, Tribhuvana Tarini, Taralatarande, Shankara Mauli, Nivasini Nimale, Mamamati Rastil, Tabapada Kamali. First offer pranams to Ganga Devi. Then you do Achaman. Sip some water, take some water in the palm of your hand, sip it, sprinkle some water on your head, and then you cross the Ganga. This is the procedure. And then you visit the next 5 islands, beginning with Koladweep. From Madhudweep you go to Koladweep. From Koladweep you go to Janadweep. Now from Koladweep you go to Ritudweep. From Ritudweep you go to Janadweep. From Janadweep to Madhudrumadweep. And from there to Rudradweep. This is the Parikrama sequence that he has described. And there in that book he has described that if you stay for 100 years in the Saptapuri. Saptapuri means the 7 most auspicious pilgrimage places in India. What are they, the 7 most auspicious places? Ayodhya, Mathura, Kanchi, Haridwar, Ujjain, Dharavati, and one more, the 7 Rameshwaram. So this way there are the 7 main pilgrimage places. So if you visit, if you stay there for 100 years, the fruit you will get, you can get that same fruit just for staying 1 night in Navadvip Dham. See what Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said. 100 years you stay in any of these pilgrimage places. You get the fruit, just stay 1 night here in Navadvip Dham. And he said the yogis, they perform so many austerities, tapasyas, in these places. If you stay in Navadvip for 3 nights, you get the fruit of doing tapasya for 10 years. Very austere tapasya in any of these pilgrimage places, what the yogis do, is by staying there. And he said just by taking a bath in the Ganga, Bhagirathi, you get the fruit of the 5 kinds of mukti. What are they? Sarupya, having a form similar to that of Bhagavan. Salokya, residing in the same abode as Bhagavan. Samipya, residing near Bhagavan. Sarsti, having the same opulence as Bhagavan. And even if you want, you can get Sarupya Mukti also. 5 kinds of liberation can be had just by bathing in the Ganga there in Navadvip. And even if one comes to Navadvip unintentionally, he has no intention of coming to Navadvip Dham, but still somehow he ends up there. Somehow he ends up there. Because of his Agyat Sukriti. Because of his Sukriti that he has, the pious actions he has done in his previous life, somehow he ends up there. Then the fruit, he'll get the 5 kinds of mukti. The 16 kinds of rivers flow in Navadvip Dham. He has described everything in Navadvip Dham. 16 most auspicious rivers of India collectively flow there. Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. Because we see, when the Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati meet in Prayag, then they become one. And as they flow, they appear in Navadvip Dham. Because before Ganga Devi meets the ocean, at Ganga Sagar, she flows through Navadvip. So this is already Yamuna, Saraswati, Ganga are in one place. Like there is one place called Panchaveni in Navadvip Dham, where the 5 rivers meet. But also, other rivers are also there. Like Brahmaputra, Tamrapani, Godavari, Narmada, Sindhu, Kaveri, Gomati. All these things he has described in his Navadvip Dham Mahatma. So this island, these 9 islands are incomparable. They have, it is compared, Gaudamandal is compared to a lotus which has 100 petals. And the circumference of that lotus, that Vyas, is 56 miles. And the circumference of Navadvip Dham is 8 miles. But it is 16 kosh, 16 kosh. And it is 32 kilometers long. When Gaudamandal is 168 miles. In the Chaurasi kosh. Just as Brajmandal is Chaurasi kosh, Gaudamandal is also Chaurasi kosh. It is also 84 miles. And Navadvip Dham is covered by like these 8 petals. And Gaudamandal is covered by 100 petals. So that book is very beautiful, the small book. It is only this much. I remember many years back when Gurudev was still physically manifest in this world, I was going back from Mayapur to Navadvip. There, one of Gurudev's disciples, one Mataji, she was sitting on the boat, on the same boat as us. And she had all these copies of this Navdeep Dham Mahatma. So she saw us and she said, oh, we just printed this recently. It got printed in 2010 February. And Parikrama also took place in that same month, later, after like 2 weeks. So she had like so many copies and she was giving them out. And then she told me, you read this book as well. Gurudev just published it in English. And 3 years prior to that, Gurudev, he published the same book in Hindi, translation of Bengali. It's a very special book, very beautiful book. Many divine glories of the Dham have been described. So here, Gurudev has gone into great detail regarding the glories of every island. Here he is saying, why is this place called Andardeep? So here he explains, Andardeep is called Atopura Gram. Four-headed Brahma, he performed austerities at Atopura Gram to become free from the offense he committed during Krishna's pastimes of stealing the cowherd boys and calves. So we know that Krishna himself inspired this desire within Brahma, that he steal the cows and calves. Because Brahma is actually a great devotee of Krishna. But he desired to see more and more leelas of Krishna. And Krishna also desired to become the husband of all the gopis. He desired to become the sons of all the gopis. He desired to become the calves of all the different cows. He wanted to relish all these different rasas because he is Rasik Shiromani. He is Rasik Chudamani. Rasikendra. So in this way, Brahma, when he realized what he had done, he asked for forgiveness and Krishna forgave him. But still, Brahma, deep within his heart, he thought he has not forgiven me completely. Just like Indra. Indra also asked for forgiveness after he created so much nuisance. But then he also realized Krishna has not forgiven me entirely. So he also went to Survi Kunj in Godrum. And he also started doing bhajan there. Similarly, Brahma also, he came to this place, Antardeep, realizing, all right, Mahaprabhu is going to appear, let me do bhajan here. Let me meditate on him. So then, satisfied with Lord Brahma's worship, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared before him. So Brahmaji begged forgiveness for his offenses and asked for a boon. He said, when you exhibit your pastimes in this world, please arrange for me to take birth in a low-class family, and thus in a mood of humility and wretchedness, fulfill your innermost desire with my service. So Brahma felt that he was very proud. So now he's saying, Prabhu, kindly forgive me for my offense. Now I wish to be born in a low-class family, as a Muslim. As who? Who was that personality? It was Haridas Thakur. So here the question arises, sometimes it is said that Haridas Thakur was actually born in a Brahmin family. Some devotees say that he was born in a Brahmin family, but his parents died and he was adopted by Muslims. Some devotees are of this opinion. So then Gurudev, he wrote like this in one of the articles for the magazine, for Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti, for the Gaudiya Patrika. He wrote one article. So when Param Gurudev read this, then he chastised Gurudev. Param Gurudev told Gurudev that where have you gotten this from? That Haridas Thakur was born in a Brahmin family and his parents died, Muslims adopted him. And Gurudev, he said, I heard from other Vaishnavas. Param Gurudev said, that's all right. We have heard from other Vaishnavas, but what has Bhaktivinoda Thakur said? We follow Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He is our authority. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said that Haridas Thakur was born in a Muslim family. He was not born in a Brahmin family. So don't write like this again. So in Gurudev, he took out that part and he corrected it. So here also it said, he's born in such a family. So then Mahaprabhu, he granted Lord Brahma his boon, saying, you will take birth in a Muslim family and serve me by preaching and chanting the holy names of Sri Hari. And I will also appear in the form of Gauranga, and then I will fulfill my three most internal desires. What are those three internal desires? Radha Pranay Mahima Kitrisho Vanaya Sadhyo Inakuda Kitrisho Vamadiyam Saukam Jassa Kitrisho Veti Loha Tad Bhava Samajani Sachigarbo Sindhu Harindu. He wanted to realize the pranay, the glories of Srimati Radhika's pranay. Means what kind of love does Srimati Radhika have for me? What is the sweetness of that love? What is the happiness that she experiences? So here, we must know that actually, Krishna actually he wants to relish the the moods that are within his own self. Because those qualities are actually within himself. But he cannot taste them as Srimati Radhika does. That is why he had to accept her mood, her complexion. Because he is Vishaya Vigraha. Sugar cannot taste its own sweetness. Is it true? Can sugar taste its own sweetness? No. Krishna cannot taste how sweet he is. Only through his devotees can he taste how sweet he is. So then he had to accept the three, the Bhav and Kanti of Srimati Radhika. So then this island became known as Antardweep, because it was here that the Lord revealed his internal sentiments to Brahma. So it is called Antardweep because Mahaprabhu revealed his heart to Brahma. He said, I will appear in Kali Yuga. But it was not decided which part of Kali Yuga he will appear. Kali Yuga consists of 4,32,000 years. But it was not certain when he would appear, Bhagavan. But he had to appear in the first part of Kali Yuga, when only 5,000 years had passed. Because of who? Because of Advaita Acharya. Because Tulsi Dalamatrena Jalasa Chulukena va Vikrinate Samatmanam Bhaktebhyo Bhaktavatsala. Advaita Acharya was performing his archan there. Tulsi Dalamatrena, just offering some leaves of Tulsi. Jalasa Chulukena va, offering a palmful of Ganga water. Vikrinate Samatmanam Bhaktebhyo Bhaktavatsala. Krishna says, if anyone offers me one Tulsi leaf and little Ganga water, he said, I give myself to that person. And because of Advaita Acharya's calling, he appeared in the very first part of Kali Yuga, within only 500 years back. So in this way, he revealed his heart to Brahma. That is why it is called Antardweep. So if someone asks you that question, that why is this place called Antardweep, then you have to say, because every island of Navadvip has a history behind it. Now, there are 9 islands of Navadvip. And every island is named like correspondingly, according to its history. Why is it called Simantadweep, this island? Because there Parvati Devi, she is called Simantini Devi, the Shakti of Lord Shiva. She also desired to witness the Leelas of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Simantini Devi. And then what did she do? She took the foot dust of Mahaprabhu and she put that on the parting of her hair. The foot dust. So this parting of her hair in Bengali is called Simant. Therefore, since then the island became Simantadweep. Why is this island called Godrum Dweep? Because there was a banyan tree, Godrum, underneath which Surabhi Devi performed austerities. Indra performed austerities to receive the darshan of Gauranga, Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. That is why it's called Godrum Dweep. Why is it called Madhyadweep? Because it is situated in the middle of the 9 islands in one way. And there Hansa Mahan is present. Brahma is present there on his Hansa, on his swan. Why is it called Koladweep? Because Varaha, he is called Koladev. So Varaha, he is the predominating deity of this island. There he gave darshan to Vasudev Vipra. Vasudev Vipra was a Brahmin of Satyuga. He was worshipping Varahadev many years before even Mahaprabhu appeared, thousands of years before. Not even thousands, hundreds of thousands of years before. So Varahadev, he appeared there, Koldev. And he said, I will also appear as Mahaprabhu in Kali Yuga. Since then that island became Koladweep. Why is this island called Ritudweep? Ritu means, which is the king of all seasons? Vasanta. Vasanta is the king of all seasons. Ritu means season. So in Ritudweep there is always Vasanta. Vasantaraj. And there also in Ritudweep there is Radha Kund. So here the king of all seasons reigns supreme. That is Vasanta. Then why is this island called Janudweep? Why does it bear that name? Because of Jandu Rishi. Ganga Devi appeared from his, some say from his ear, some say from his thigh. So it's called Janudweep. Modatrumadweep. Why? Because it was under the same banyan tree underneath which Sita and Ram had this very grave conversation. So there we see Sita, Ram told Sita that in Kali Yuga I will leave you. I will take sannyas and I will leave you. And very soon, also I will have to abandon you in my pastimes as Ram. I will send you away to the forest and I will stay in Ayodhya. And then in Kali Yuga, I will go to the forest. So then Sita asked Ram, why such leelas? Why such painful leelas of separation? What is the use? What is the purpose in performing such pastimes, Prabhu? Why are you making us, why are you making you as well suffer and making me suffer as well? What is the reason? Because he said, without separation, there is no meeting. Separation are like the waves seen in an ocean. If there are no waves in an ocean, the ocean is not beautiful to look at. Only if there are waves, then the ocean is very beautiful. Similarly, without separation, meeting has no meaning. Like you see in the Bhagavatam, what are the 5 life airs of the Bhagavatam? The Panchaprana. Without which the Bhagavatam has no meaning. They are the Gopi Geet, Pranay Geet, Yugal Geet, Brahmar Geet, and Venu Geet. These are the 5 life airs of the Bhagavatam. And these 5 life airs of the Bhagavatam are based on separation. Gopi Geet was sung in separation when Krishna disappeared from the Rasa dance. Venu Geet was sung in separation when Krishna went to the forest. Brahmar Geet was sung by Srimati Radhika when that bumblebee appeared there. Pranay Geet again was sung in separation. Yugal Geet again was sung in separation. So the 5 life airs of the Bhagavatam are based on viraha, separation. So without separation, meeting has no meaning. So therefore Ram, he told Sita, that such separation yields a better meaning to meeting, gives a better meaning to meeting. This is called Modrumadvi. And then there is Rudradvi. Rudradvi is where all the Rudras are performing austerities to please Mahaprabhu. So that Mahaprabhu comes and gives them darshan there in Rudradvi. So you say every island has a special meaning behind it, has a special history behind it. So if you ask yourself, what is the meaning of Antardweep? Means here, we just read the history. Antardweep means Mahaprabhu revealed the sentiments of his heart to Adi Guru Brahma, our Sampradaya Acharya, that I will appear in Kali Yuga in this island as the son of Mother Sachi, Jagannath Mishra. Why? To fulfill these 3 desires of mine and to propagate Ragatmik Bhakti, Raganuga Bhakti, Ragmayi Bhakti. This way. So then, Antardweep's central point is the Mahayogapit. It is the appearance place of the Lord and it is known as Mayapur. And the same Brahma, he appeared as Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur. So this Antardweep consists of Ballal Digi, Pritukund, a portion of Vaman Pukur. So this is past the Yogapit. If you go past Chankazi Samadhi, if you keep walking past Chankazi Samadhi, then you'll see Ballal Digi. So Ballal Digi means there is some remnants of Lakshman Sen's palace. So Lakshman Sen was a great king in this Ballal dynasty. Like before the Islamic invasion began, India had great dynasties of kings. There was the Gupta Empire, the Maurya Empire, the Chalukya Empire, and there's many dynasties were there before India got invaded. So this way, this Ballal dynasty was also present there, of which Lakshman Sen was the king. And who was Lakshman Sen's favorite poet? Jayadev Goswami. Jayadev Goswami, he was a Raj Kavi. Lakshman Sen, he loved listening to his kirtans. But then Lakshman Sen told Jayadev Goswami, you'll have to come. Can you please come and stay in my palace and sing as much as you want to? Jayadev Goswami said no. Because he said, I am singing only for my Radha Madhav. I cannot sing for kings, he said. I cannot sing for you. Whatever I am writing is for the pleasure of my Ishtadev, Radha Madhav. So then he said, no, I don't wish to stay here any longer also. He wanted to leave. Then Lakshman Sen gave him a place there in Champahati. And then after that, he also left Champahati, Jayadev Goswami. But then, in Champahati, it is said that Jagannath himself gave darshan to Jayadev Goswami. And he told Jayadev Goswami, now please come to Puri. I want to listen to your Gita Govind there. But Jayadev Goswami was thinking, how can I leave Champahati? How can I leave Navdeep Dham and go to Puri? Because you will appear here as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jayadeva Goswami knew everything. But then Jagannath, he told him that when you come to Puri and when your Gita Govind will be recited in the temple and in other places, Mahaprabhu himself, which is me, I will relish all your kirtans when it will be sung in Jagannath Puri. Like we see, when this Gita Govind was being sung even by a lady, even by a Devdasi, Mahaprabhu would become so mad that he could not even control himself. He would run in the middle of the night to see who was singing the Gita Govind. And he wanted to embrace that person. He didn't know if it was a man or a woman. This is called Vastu Anapekshani Ruchi. Mahaprabhu himself is showing this. There are two kinds of ruchis. Vastu Apekshani and Vastu Anapekshani. Vastu Apekshani Ruchi means there is some consideration of certain things, certain elements of kirtan. If the kirtaniya is very good looking, he has a very melodious voice, he has nice instruments, then I will listen to his kirtan. But if there is another person who is not so good looking, he might not even play as many instruments as he should be playing. And sometimes even his tune is not so good, not so refined, then he will have no how to listen to that person's kirtan. But that person, he is weeping while he is singing kirtan. He is weeping. He is like singing Mahamantra or all these different kirtans and he is weeping. While another person, he is singing only to please others. Whose kirtan is better? One person, he is looking everywhere. He is looking all over. Are they listening to my kirtan or not? Are they enjoying my kirtan? Are the ladies looking at me? Are my friends looking at me? And then if he sees them looking at him, then he starts singing more nicely. But another person, he doesn't care. He is only seeing if Thakurji is listening. And he is singing, weeping, weeping. Whose kirtan is better? That we must ask ourselves. So this is Vastu Anapekshani Ruchi. So Mahaprabhu, he is showing this. He didn't look to see if it was man, woman, anyone. He just ran. And this lady who was singing, she was a great devotee herself. She was a Devdasi. Devdasi means a servant of Jagannath. Jagannath Dev. She is dancing only for the pleasure of Jagannath. She has offered her youth, her beauty, her chastity, her very life in the service of Jagannath. So will Mahaprabhu not be attracted by the kirtan of such a pure-hearted devotee? But still, Mahaprabhu is a sannyasi. So he had to set the example for everyone to follow. So when Govinda caught Mahaprabhu from behind, then Mahaprabhu told Govinda, if you hadn't caught me, I would have given up my life and I embraced that lady. Because Mahaprabhu was very strict. So in this way, Jayadeva Goswami, he was told by Jagannath, now you go to Puri and you do bhajan there. You recite the Gita Govind there. And as Mahaprabhu, who is my own non-different self, I will appear there and relish all the kirtans. So in this way, there is Balal Digi there, the palace of Lakshman Sen. Also, Navadvip Dham was considered the capital of Bengal. Because India is called Panchagaur. India is divided into two parts, Aryavarta and Dakshinatya. Aryavarta is called Panchagauda and Dakshinatya is called Panchadravid. Panchagaur means Bengal, Punjab, Odisha, and some parts here and there. So here, this place is also called Gaudamanda for this reason. So then there is Vamanpukur, Srinathpur, Ganganagar and other places. So Jagannath Mishra's house was within this Vamanpukur. Although Mahaprabhu eternally performs pastimes here, only fortunate souls can witness them. Yadyapi Sai Leela Kore Gaurarai, Kono Kono Bhagyavan Dekhi Bare Pai. Even now Mahaprabhu is performing his very wonderful Leelas. Yadyapi Sai Leela Kore Gaurarai, Kono Kono Bhagyavan Dekhi Bare Pai. Kripa Kori Maya Uthai, Kripa Kori Maya Jal Uthai Jakan. Aki Dekhi Suvishal Chinmaya Bhavan, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said. When will Maya Devi remove this veil of hers? Kripa Kori Mayaja, Uthaye Jakon. When will she remove this covering? Aki Deki Subishal Chinmay Bhavan. And then I will see all these beautiful palaces there in Kaudamanda. I will see all these beautiful trees there. I will see the Dham as it is Chinmay Swarup of Dham. When will that day be mine? So when the foundation to the present Yogapeeth temple was being dug, a small four-armed deity was found. This deity had been worshipped by Jagannath Mishra, whose temple was located in that spot. And just nearby, under a large neem tree, Nimai took birth from Sachidevi's womb. Sachidevi's father, Nilambar Chakravarti, was a great scholar. Sachidevi was highly chaste, devout, and the embodiment of mercy. Her 8 daughters died at birth, one after the other. She then gave birth to an extraordinary son named Sri Vishwarupa. So we all know who Vishwarup is. Vishwarup was the very reason that the devotees found so much happiness in Mayapur, or else they would have left Mayapur. Because Mayapur became a place of all the smartas. There, no one was interested in listening to the Gita based on bhakti. Everyone thought of the Bhagavad Gita as a shastra based on empirical knowledge. They had no interest whatsoever in listening to the meaning of bhakti. And even if the devotees tried doing kirtan, these same smarta Brahmins, these orthodox Brahmins, they would complain to the Muslim magistrate, Chand Qazi, saying, now it is Chaturmasya. During Chaturmasya, the 4 months, Bhagavan is resting, beginning from Shayan Ekadashi. He rests from Shayan Ekadashi until Dev Utthan Ekadashi. On Utthan Ekadashi, Bhagavan arises, he wakes up. So then, when the devotees are doing kirtan, they are going to wake Bhagavan up. And if they will wake him up, then there will be so much drought, famine in our place. Why? Because Bhagavan is not happy. He wants to rest for some time. Chaturmasya means for 4 months he is resting. So this way they would complain to the Muslim magistrate. And then the Muslims would harass the devotees, saying, if you do kirtan again, then we'll take matter into our own hands. So then the devotees, they had to do kirtan without anyone else knowing where they were. They had to go to some small place, secluded place, and they would do kirtan. And Advaita Acharya would become furious. He would become mad. He would think that, look at these people, they're so sinful. We are trying to do kirtan and they're not even letting us do kirtan. I want to cut the heads of these people. Because he was Mahavishnu himself. But then he couldn't. If Advaita Acharya wanted to, he could have actually made everyone chant Harinam. He could have done so himself. Because who is he? He is Mahavishnu. But he was waiting for Mahaprabhu. Because Mahaprabhu was the one who was going to give this Yuga Dharma. And what is the Yuga Dharma? Prem Nam Sankirtan. Advaita Acharya in one way is Gaur Narayan. He could have given Nam Sankirtan, but not Prem Nam Sankirtan. What is Prem Nam Sankirtan? Sankirtan infused with Brajaras. This is Prem Nam Sankirtan. Nityananda Prabhu also, when he was visiting all these different places, he could have also given Prem, but he didn't give Prem. Why? He was waiting for Mahaprabhu. So similarly, Advaita Acharya was also waiting for Mahaprabhu. Meanwhile, when he was speaking Harikatha, then Vishwarup Prabhu, he would always come there. And he would listen to his Harikatha. And all the devotees, just by looking at Vishwarup Prabhu, they would be so happy. At the end of the day, they would think at least there's one person here who understands us. And Vishwarup Prabhu, he would also speak Harikatha to everyone. And everyone's hearts would be soothed. So here, Vishwarup was the elder brother of Mahaprabhu. He appeared. And after him, Mahaprabhu appeared. Where? In Mayapur. Nimai was none other than Brajendra Nandan Shyam Sundar Sri Krishna, who had accepted the mood, bhav and lustre, kanti, of Srimati Radhika. He chose to appear in this world for several reasons, among which 4 are prominent. To propagate the Yuga Dharma of this age. And what is it? Shri Harinam Sankirtan. Kaler dosha guna rajan, asteka mahat guna. Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Rajet. Sukadeva Goswami told Parikshit Maharaj that, O king, Kalir Dosha Guna Rajan, Asti Eka Mahat Guna. Although Kali Yuga is like a mine, an ocean of faults and bad things, there is one great quality in Kali Yuga. What is that? Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Rajet. By doing Kirtan here, one gets the fruit of following whatever Yuga Dharma has been prescribed for the previous 3 yugas, just by practicing Harinam Sankirtan. So this was the first objective of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to propagate the Yuga Dharma, or the religious practice of this age. And the second, now listen carefully, because if you don't know the 4 reasons why Mahaprabhu appeared, then you don't know any tattva of Mahaprabhu. So listen carefully, then I'll ask you, what are the 4 reasons? First reason is establish Yuga Dharma. The second reason is to distribute that which had never been given before. Unnatochala Prem, transcendental love, in this amorous fellow Shringaras. The third reason was to respond to the call of Advaita Acharya. The fourth, which is his most important, is to fulfill his 3 confidential desires. That is, to taste the greatness of Srimati Radhika's prem, to personally taste as Srimati Radhika does, and to taste the sweetness of his form as Radhika does, and to taste the happiness that Radharani experiences when she relishes his sweetness. So these are the 4 reasons why Mahaprabhu appeared in Kali Yuga. The 4th reason is that Mahaprabhu, only he could relish that. This Pranay Mahima of Srimati Radhika. It cannot be given to anyone else. But the second reason is, he wanted to distribute the remnants of her prem, Unnatochala Rasa, Savakti Shriyam, the remnants of Srimati Radhika's prem. Because the prem that Radharani herself relishes cannot be given even to Lalita Vishakha, who are like the Kaya Vyuha of Srimati Radhika, the bodily expanses of Srimati Radhika. If they cannot be given, if that same prem cannot be given even to our own Sakhis, then how can it be given to the Baddha Jivas of this world?
People argue that if Bhagavan is omniscient, then why wouldn't he know how Bhagavan is feeling? Why wouldn't he know his feelings already? Why would he have to
That we've been discussing all these days. That saying Krishna, at the same time, he is Akila Rasamrit Sindhu, Akila Rasamrit Murti. He is the embodiment of all the different rasas. There is nothing that he has not tasted, because everything is within him in the first place. This is when he is Ekaras, when he is only situated by himself, when everything is within him in a latent form. But then when he becomes Anekaras, and he manifests different associates, beginning with Srimati Radhika, who manifests from his left side. Then what happens? Then all these different rasas which are inherently present within him start assuming forms, start assuming pastimes. Then all these latent desires that he has within himself, he desires to relish. So the 4th reason is that he wanted to taste the Pranay Mahima of Srimati Radhika, but this cannot be given to the Jivas. But Unnatochala Ras means the prem of Srimati Radhika, means the remnants that can be given. So the example is given that Krishna is like a tree and Srimati Radhika is like a creeper. So the creeper entwines itself around the tree. And on top of that creeper, there are certain leaves, certain flowers, certain buds, like manjaris. So then, what happens? Without these leaves, without these flowers, without these like certain like buds and all these other things, the creeper has no beauty. The creeper doesn't look so beautiful. But then it is only beautiful when all these things are present. Similarly, when Srimati Radhika is present only by herself, she cannot please Krishna as she wants to. But when she expands herself into all these different Sakhis and Manjaris, into all 360 kinds of gopis, The 360 kinds of gopis embody the 360 moods of Srimati Radhika. They are the beauty of Srimati Radhika. Who is Chandravali? She is Srimati Radhika herself. Who are Saita and Padma? They are Srimati Radhika herself. Who has assumed these forms to give pleasure to Krishna. 360 kinds of gopis. So in this way, these gopis, they are like the beauty of Srimati Radhika, just like the leaves and the flowers are the beauty of the creeper. So then the example is given that when some wind blows on the creeper, which has entwined itself around the tree, which has taken support of the tree, then what happens? When the wind blows on it, then not just the creeper, but even the flowers, the leaves, and all the other things present on the creeper start trembling there. You understand? They start trembling in that wind. So Gurudev, by this example, he says that when Radha and Krishna are meeting each other, then the same happiness that Srimati Radhika is experiencing, also her maidservants and her sakhis, they also experience the same kind of happiness. Because we see even the Manjaris are actually Srimati Radhika's sakhis. They are called the Nitya sakhis and the Pran sakhis. Radharani sakhis are divided into 5 groups. Sakhis, Param Prishta sakhis, Priya Norma sakhis, Nitya sakhis and Pran sakhis. So the Manjaris, they are divided into 2 categories. The Nitya sakhis and the Pran sakhis. And Roop, Rati, Lavanga Manjari, they are all the Nitya sakhis. So they are the most beloved sakhis of Srimati Radhika. Because in Braj, when we speak of Golok Vrindavan, there is no such thing as a Dasi. Normally, Dasi or a Manjari or a Kinkari, in English, it is roughly translated as a maidservant. And whenever we think of a maidservant in terms of this world, it means someone who is exploited. This is the meaning of a servant. Someone who is a slave. Someone who caters to the demands of others. Someone who has to satisfy a person who is situated above him or her. This is the conception that we have of servitude in this material world, which is very horrible conception. Very horrible. Who would want to be a servant in this material world? Who would want to be? But in the spiritual world, there is no such thing. This is called Shaka Chandra Nyaya. Sometimes the boy, one small boy, he wants to see the moon. So then he wants to reach out to the moon. So then his mother tells the small boy, you see the moon? It's right there on the branch of the tree. See, it's right there. And he tries reaching out to it, but he can't grab it. But still he thinks the moon is right there. He tries, but he can't. But then he's happy. All right, the moon is not so far. It's only on the branch of the tree. When I'll grow a little more older, now I'm only 5 years old. When I'm 15 or 20 years old, then I can grab the moon. So similarly, when we think about all these examples, like the Guru Varga, they have to use certain terms, certain examples, certain analogies to make us understand. But ultimately, the transcendental reality cannot be understood by the words of this material world. It cannot be understood. Because the language of this world, any language for that instance, they are all restricted by time, by certain limitations. So you can make the jiva, you can make him understand this tattva as much as he can, according to his adhika. But ultimately he cannot understand fully. Like you say, the jiva became conditioned. The jiva became baddha. But when did the jiva become conditioned? At what time? Which year? Can we say? We say anadi bahir mukha. Anadi means even before time began, the jiva has become conditioned. But the example is being given at one point he became conditioned. But even this, you see, is very limiting. It's a very limited understanding. So all these tattvas of the transcendental world cannot be understood by language itself. Because Bhagavan, he is called Apurushaya Tattva. Means he is beyond the reach of the senses. He is called Adoksaja Tattva. So it is only by our own sadhan bhajan that we can understand all these things. It is only by that. Or else how can we possibly understand this transcendental reality? It is not possible. So in this way, the creeper has entwined itself on the tree, and that creeper is Srimati Radhika herself. So in this way, Mahaprabhu, he wanted to give that prem which the maidservants of Srimati Radhika, the Sakhis, the Pran Sakhis, the Nitya Sakhis are relishing. So this is the second reason of his appearance. So these are the four reasons that he appeared. These are the four reasons which are the cause of his appearance in this material world. Gurudev would always ask his sannyasis during Harikatha, tell me the four reasons why Mahaprabhu appeared. And then the sannyasis had to stand up and speak. And if the sannyasis wouldn't speak, then Gurudev would be very upset with them. Saying you'll have to propagate the mission of Mahaprabhu and you'll have to know all these things. So although apparently Gurudev is not physically present with us, still we see his sevaks. They are reminding us so much of what Gurudev desires from his preachers, from his devotees. That they preach Gauravani. But what is Gauravani? If we have no understanding of what Gauravani is, then how can we possibly preach it? Like Gurudev, he spoke on this pranam mantra of Srila Swami Maharaj, dear Guru Maharaj. Namaste Saraswati Devi, Gauravani Prachadini, Devi Vishesha Shunyavada Paschapta Deshatari. So then Gurudev, he asked the disciples of Swami Maharaj, tell me what this Gauravani is. Can you tell me? So then some disciples of Swami Maharaj, of Srila Prabhupada, they said, our Prabhupada, he came to give this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is Gauravani. They said, all right, that's true, but that is not complete. It is only partial, he said. Because the Mahamantra, what to speak of Mahaprabhu, even Mahavishnu, the Yugavatar, he could have also given the Mahamantra. Even the Yugavatar could have given it, Mahavishnu. But what did Mahaprabhu come to give? He came to give this Unnatochala Rasa through the Mahamantra. So similarly, your Prabhupada, he didn't appear just to give the Mahamantra. Rather, he came to give the same thing that Mahaprabhu came to give as well. And then Gurudev, he spoke so many classes on this subject, they made a book out of it. No, Shamrani Mataji, she made that book. You read that book, Maharaj? Gauravani Prashari. You read? I have not read. Very beautiful book. So then Gurudev, he explained this Gauravani. If you see, Gauravani can be understood in three ways. Gauravani Prachari. The first kind of Gauravani is the instructions that Mahaprabhu gave to Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur. What did he say? Shuno Shuno Haridas, Shuno Nityananda, Amara Agya Sarvatra Karo Prakash. Jao Gare Gare, Bolo Sarvatra, Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Karo Krishna Siksha. Said, go house to house and tell everyone to chant Krishna's names, to follow Krishna's instructions as they've been given in the Bhagavatam and the Gita. This is one kind of Gauravani. The second kind of Gauravani is what? Is what Mahaprabhu experienced in the Gambhira, in the association of Sarup Damodar and Raya Ramananda. This is the second kind of Gauravani. Like all these moods of Srimati Radhika that Mahaprabhu experienced. All these kirtans that he would listen to, of Gita Govind, Krishna Karnamrit, Chandidas, Vidyapati, Raya Ramananda Natak. He would listen to all these different kirtans and he would be relishing the bhavs of Srimati Radhika there. What kind of bhavs? Sneha, Man, Pranay, Rag, Anurag, Mahabhav, Rood, Adirud, Modan, Madan, all these things Mahaprabhu is experiencing in the Gambhira. This is the second kind of Gauravani. And this cannot be given to the Jivas. And what is the third kind of Gauravani? That is this verse that Gurudev loves so much, which is his life and soul. Anarpita Charanchirad Karanati Samaj Bhaitam Unnatojjala Rasam Samatishya Hari Purata Sundara Divdi Kadamba Sandipita Salah Hridaya Kandari Spratu Sri Sachinandana. That Mahaprabhu has come to give this Unnatojjala Ras as described by Srila Rupa Goswami in his Bhaktivedanta Sindhu and especially Ujjwal Nilamani. Because when Rupa Goswami wrote Bhaktivedanta Sindhu, he was neutral. He was in a Tatashta mood. In Bhaktivedanta Sindhu, he has described Dasya Ras, Sakya Ras, Vatsalya Ras and a little bit of Madhurya Ras. He has not fully described this Madhurya Ras in Bhaktivedanta Sindhu. But he has given his heart out in Ujjwal Nilamani. That is the book that Rupa Goswami has given his heart over it. In Bhaktivedanta Sindhu, he saw that there are many different sadhaks of different categories, different gradations, different adhikars. So for their sake, he described all the different rasas. But in Ujjwal Leelamani, he has described only Srimati Radhika's moods. He has given definitions for each mood of Srimati Radhika. So this is the third kind of Gauravani that Mahaprabhu came to give. So in this way, with these four intentions in mind, Mahaprabhu appeared where? In Sridham, Mayapur, Antardeep. So Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he took birth on 23rd Falgun in Shakabda era 1407. 28th February 1486. It was a full moon day and he appeared at twilight. There was a lunar eclipse that evening and everywhere thousands of people were singing the glories of Sri Hari. In such a glorious atmosphere, he appeared from the womb of Sachidevi as the moon arose from the ocean itself. Because he took birth under a neem tree, he was called Nimai. And because his complexion was golden, he was called Gauranga. Because Ganga Devi, she requested Yamuna Devi that you are my younger sister. And in your waters, Krishna performed so many kinds of different leelas with the gopis. But I did not have that good fortune of witnessing the leelas of Krishna. I did not have that good fortune. But you had that good fortune. So my younger sister, when will that day be mine? That Krishna will also play in my water. So then, sensing this desire of Ganga Devi, Krishna, he blessed her. And he said, when I will appear as my own non-different self, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I will appear on the banks of yourself. I will appear in Navadvip Mayapur Dham, which is situated on your banks. And beginning from my very childhood, I will always play in your water. I will perform different kinds of pastimes with you. And Ganga Devi became so happy. And then meanwhile, the ocean, the Samudra, he was also very sad. He was thinking, when will Bhagavan sport in my waters? When will he manifest all his leelas within me? So then Mahaprabhu also blessed him. When I will come to Jagannath Puri after taking sannyas, I will always bathe in your waters. All my devotees will bathe in your waters. In fact, one of my devotees will attain samadhi within your banks. Who was that? That personality who took samadhi on the banks of the ocean. Who Mahaprabhu himself gave samadhi. Who was that? Very last topic. So in this way, Mahaprabhu, when he appeared there as the son of Mother Sachi, because Mother Sachi had already lost 8 of her daughters previously. No, she had already lost 8 daughters of hers. So then she was thinking, if I have another child, then I'll give him a very unusual name. Because there was a superstition previously in India that if you give children unusual names, then they are actually protected. It is like kavacha if you give them unusual names. So then when Mahaprabhu was born underneath this neem tree, he was given this seemingly unusual name called Nimai. And Mahaprabhu's grandfather, Nilambar Chakravarti, he gave him the name Vishwambar. Why is he called Vishwambar? Because he will nourish the entire world. How will he nourish the entire world? By giving them brain. This is how he will nourish the entire world. And then he was called Gauranga and all these different names. So if you see, which is the most beloved name of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Have you ever wondered which name of Mahaprabhu is most loved by all the devotees? Because normally when we chant the Panchatattva mantra, which name of Mahaprabhu which name do we use to address Mahaprabhu when we chant the Panchatattva mantra? Krishna Chaitanya. But then if you chant the Gaur Gayatri, when you chant the Gaur Gayatri, which name of Mahaprabhu has been mentioned at the end? It is he who is golden limbed, whose form is golden. That name has been mentioned in the Gaur Gayatri at the end. So therefore we see when we worship the deity form of Mahaprabhu, we don't worship him as Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Now, in very few places, Mahaprabhu is worshipped as a sannyasi. If you go to Jagannath Puri, there in the place of Sarvam Bhattacharya's bhajan stali, there you will see Sarbuj Mahaprabhu. He is worshipped in 600 form as a sannyasi. And if you go to Tandavanga, this place where Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj has an ashram, there also if you see, Mahaprabhu is worshipped in his sannyas form. Why? Because there his danda was broken by Nityananda Prabhu. So there's a leela that took place there. So to remind all the devotees of that leela, Mahaprabhu is worshipped in a sannyasi form. So can you think of any other place in this world where Mahaprabhu is worshipped as a sannyasi? It is Sarbuj Mahaprabhu. I mean, like any prominent temple. Very few. Very, very few. Like here, if you go near the Radharaman temple, near Nidhuvan, there is one place where Mahaprabhu is worshipped in his Sarbuj form, 600 form. So very few places. Also, Mahaprabhu, he showed his Sarbuj form in Navadvip as well. Not only in Jagannath Puri. Even in Navadvip, if you read Chaitanya Bhagavad Madhya Khanda, he displayed his Sarbuj form to Nityananda Prabhu. During that time. So therefore, in very few places, Mahaprabhu is worshipped in his Sarbuj form. But in most of the places, in which form is he worshipped? As Sri Sachinandan Gaur Hari, as Gauranga. And this way, this is his Swarup, in which he is worshipped. And his Swarup and his name are non-different. When we speak of Bhagavan, his Swarup and his name are non-different. Nam, Nami, Aveda. So therefore, if he is worshipped in that Swarup, then what is the Swarup known by? Which name is that Swarup known by? What is the name of that Swarup? Gauranga, Gaurhari, Sachinandan. So these names are actually the most dear names to all the devotees. They like to address him by this name. But then why do we address him as Krishna Chaitanya in the Panchatattva? Why? Have you ever thought about this? Why? Why did Kaviraj Goswami name the biography of Mahaprabhu as Chaitanya Charitamrita? He could have named it as Gaur Charitamrita, Sachinandan Charitamrita. Why Chaitanya Charitamrita? Why Chaitanya Mangal? Why Chaitanya Charit? Why Chaitanya Bhagavat? Why? Because if you look at the meaning of the word Chaitanya, it means what? It means consciousness. So whenever we are addressing this name Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya, he is actually giving us this Sambandha Gyan. First there is Sambandha, then there is Abhideya, and then there is Prayojan. So all these names of Mahaprabhu, like Gauranga, Gaurhari, they are actually the names corresponding to Prayojan Tattva. And there are certain names of Mahaprabhu that correspond to Abhideya Tattva. Means, Abhideya means what? It is the sadhan which leads to Prayojan. If you read the 108 names of Sarabham Bhattacharya, there you can see all these different classifications. Where he has described certain names according to Sambandha, certain names according to Abhideya, certain names according to Prayojan. If you read Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Ashtotter Satanam, there also he has seen. So when we chant this Krishna Chaitanya's name, it gives us Sambandha Gyan. Then gradually when this Sambandha Gyan arises within us, when this consciousness within us, which has become polluted, now we have forgotten ourselves. So when we keep chanting Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya, then he establishes us in proper maryada, proper etiquette. And then when we realize our spiritual forms, which are latent within us, then we gradually proceed. Then we know who Mahaprabhu is as Gauranga. Because as Gauranga, who is he? Gaur Hari means who? Gaur means Gauri Devi, Srimati Radhika, and Hari means Krishna himself. Then we realize he is Gaur Hari. That is why in the Gaur Gayatri, first Mahaprabhu is addressed as Chaitanya. This is Sambandha. Then he is addressed as Vishwambar. This is Abhideya. And then he is addressed as Gauranga. This is Prayojan. So this is like very deep tattva. But Gurudev, he speaks so much on this tattva. Like when they publish all these classes of Gurudevs regarding Gaur Tattva, he speaks on these tattvas so much. So this way, Mahaprabhu, he has different names. He is known by different names. So this way, when he appeared there, all the devotees, they started chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And then the entire atmosphere was filled with the vibration of the holy names. So Nimai's childhood nature was extremely restless, just like Krishna. Like we see, once there was a snake which appeared in the courtyard of Jagannath Mishra, And Mahaprabhu would play with that snake. There were two thieves who appeared there. Mahaprabhu would play with those two thieves. So many different leelas took place there. Because there he was showing everyone that this same Gaur Gopal, he is that same Gopal of Braj. So when his elder brother Vishwarup accepted the renounced order, then Nimai's behavior became more subdued. And then he started studying at Gangadas's school. Because when Vishnu Prabhu took sannyas, then what happened? There was no one left in Mahaprabhu's house to look after. Because as soon as Vishnu Prabhu took sannyas, Jagannath Mishra, he left his body. Just as when Ram entered the forest, what happened to Dasharatha Maharaj? He left his body in separation. Similarly, when Vishnu Prabhu took sannyas and left, then Jagannath Mishra also left his body. He could not stay there anymore. So now who would look after Mother Sachi? There was no one there. So then Nimai was very restless. We hear many different pastimes of his restlessness. Like teasing the girls, teasing the scholars, breaking the things in his house. And teasing that Taitrik Brahmin, that Brahmin who appeared in Nimai's house. He would offer bhoga so many times and Mahaprabhu would come and eat that bhoga. He would remind that Brahmin and that same Gopal. So all these restless pastimes of his, they came to a stop. Then Mahaprabhu became very grave because there was no one to look after the family. So then he started going to school. Actually, he was stopped from going to school, Mahaprabhu, because Jagannath Mishra was thinking that if he goes to school, then he will also take sannyas and he will also leave. So Jagannath Mishra told Sachi Devi, don't make him go to school, stop him from going to school. So then Mahaprabhu was stopped. And then what did Mahaprabhu do? He started breaking all the things in his house. He started breaking all the clay pots, everything. So then his mother said, hey Nimai, why are you behaving like this? And Mahaprabhu said, if you're not giving me education, then what will I know? How will I ever know what is right and what is wrong? I will never know what is right, what is wrong. I will never know how to discriminate. Then somehow the neighbors, they convinced Jagannath Mishra to send the boy to school. Then he was sent to school. And even before Vishnu Prabhu left home, he actually gave the Sannyas Upanishad to Mahaprabhu. Means he desired that his younger brother also take sannyas. So this way Mahaprabhu started becoming very grave. And then he went to the school of Gangadas Pandit. So who is Gangadas Pandit? It is said he is Sandipani Muni of Krishna Lila. So Gangadas Pandit, he would teach so many classmates of Mahaprabhu, like Murari Gupta, Gadadhar Pandit, Mukundatta, then the Ghosh brothers. They say Mahaprabhu, he became the leader of all these students. And that's when his pastimes as Nimai Pandit began. Like sometimes the students would not listen to Gangadas Pandit. And Mahaprabhu would chastise those students, saying, hey, why are you not listening to our teacher? Whatever he's saying, be silent, sit in one place and listen to what he's saying. Don't speak uselessly, don't gossip amongst each other. And Mahaprabhu would discipline his students, his classmates. And this way, in Vidyanagar there, that Leela took place. And once Gangadas Pandit, he was very scared that his family would be taken away. But then Mahaprabhu himself appeared in a boat and he ferried his family across the river and he took him to a safe place. So all these Leelas took place in Nimai Pandit. So now it's getting late. So tomorrow, another day, we'll continue speaking on the glories of Sri Navdeep Dham. Because of the Muslims. Because the Muslims were also terrorizing that place. So they wanted to take his family away. They wanted to take his wife and children away. They wanted to burn the whole village down. So he took his family to the edge of the river. But there was no boat there to take his family across. So he was thinking what to do. The mob is coming, they're going to burn our village down. So then he thought he'd jump into the river along with his entire family. Because it'd be better to give up one's life than to be converted and face so many atrocities. So he told his family, his wife and daughters, that before they catch us, let's jump inside the river. So as they were about to jump inside the river, they saw a boat approaching them. Very effulgent personality was rowing this boat. Then he told Gangadas Pandit, Prabhu, why do you wish to give up your life? Don't do this. come and sit here, I have so much place in my boat, I'll take you across. So they all sat in that boat and he took Kandadas Pandit's family across. So he was the teacher of Mahaprabhu. He was Mahaprabhu's first guru. And then so many other leaders took place. So let's stop here. Shri Navdeep Dham Parikrama ki jai, Navdeep Dham Parikramakari Bhaktivedanta ki jai, Sachinandan Lord Hari ki jai, Tadiya Parikar Binda ki jai, Shri Guru